I want him's chocolate.
Hey guys, what's up? We're talking about Hershey's chocolate from Europe versus America because we got Flippy with us visiting from the UK. So during the all the showcases, Avowed had an extended gameplay, just like we did for Dragon Age. I thought we should do it for Avowed. Why? Well, because Avowed, I got super hyped for. It's like, oh, you know, it's like Obsidian, Skyrim, and this and that. But then as you started seeing it, it was like, whoa, what is that? Is that a VR mobile game? What is happening? And so the more gameplay we see, we want to see, do we get more confidence? Do we get less confidence? How is it looking? So here's an extended gameplay deep dive into Xbox, on the Xbox show, Avowed. So let's check it out together. 3, 2, 1, go.
This is the second one they've had to do for Avowed.
Ratings for games in this podcast are pending.
Okay, actually, let's just blow it up over
Welcome
here.
back to the official Xbox podcast.
We're going to skip ahead to the interview.
Carrie Patel, game director on Avowed. Welcome back,
Carrie
Patel.
Patel.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
Oh, man, you have been to the studio several times now.
Yeah,
It is
exactly.
such a treat that you spend so much time out here with us. We had you on Extended Showcase last year. We did an interview. This was after...
Yeah, I
maybe
don't
one of the
care.
first
We're
stories
going to skip ahead.
following development.
Thank you, Bob.
I don't care how long you've been on the show.
Yeah, show me the game.
Yeah, we're ready to see the game.
You've got so much that's so far along, you know, your content, your gameplay, your systems, and you're really just, you know, investing those final touches, that final layer of polish, like pushing everything to be as good as it possibly can.
Making it not look like
you know,
a
trying to make
VR
smart decisions
game.
on crazy ones. But yeah, it was great to see the reception after Developer Direct. One of the things that I know folks called out that we spent a lot of additional time on was refining that sense of hitting, which we're going to see some of in our footage today. So yeah, it's really just taking everything that's almost there and pushing it over the finish line. And
You know,
really
I
getting
didn't
the game that
have
we
as
all
much hate
wanna
towards
play.
Avowed as I saw
I
others
just wanna
direct
build off of
towards
that a
it.
little bit,
So
because we were talking
if
about it
anything, I'm
before
probably
y'all
going to
came.
be the
We were
more
talking behind
positive
your
one.
back, but in a good
Only
way.
good things.
But like, I feel like, to your point, Obsidian has this je ne sais quoi, to use my little French that I know very little.
It was that one statement. That was it.
Yeah, that's literally all I know. But
I don't
no, it's
need
like this
you
something
two. I
special
need
that
her
y'all have where
to
not only do you have the community
talk
aspect
about the
who
game.
love games, Pentiment, all these great games, but also just the team, like the cohesiveness. I got to visit the studio a little.
I don't care.
Of our key characters. So part of what we wanted to do with this trailer is really set up for the player the world you're stepping into and the role you're stepping into, and also the choice that's in front of you for how you want to inhabit and live out that role in the game. So the very first voice that we hear from at the beginning of the trailer is the Emperor of Adir, your boss essentially. He's sending you to the living lands to get to the bottom of this soul plague called the Dream Scourge, find out what's causing it, and find a way to stop it. The
It
next
does look
person
like
we
a
hear
very
from is
colorful,
Inquisitor Ludwig, who I'm
Skyrim.
very excited to have playing such
Like
a
an
big part in
MMO,
Avowed.
like,
Deadfire might
looking
remember
thing.
her as a side character in one of our very interesting side quests, but in Avowed she's pretty central. And her whole belief is that the Dream Scourge is really just symptomatic of larger problems, a larger sense of chaos and disunity and destructiveness at the heart of the living lands. And in the world of Pillars of Eternity, souls and essence, which is the
Pillars
stuff
of
of souls,
Eternity.
it manifests
stuff.
Ah, this
physically.
is in
And
the
so she
Pillars
might
of
be onto
Eternity
something.
world?
And then the very last
That's
person we
cool.
hear from is Giada, who's one of the companions that we'll meet in our journey. And she's taking a different perspective.
Actually didn't
she's
know
saying
that.
this chaos is part of who we are. It's part of what makes the living land special. Don't try to tame it. Don't try to end it. Embrace it and cherish it and kind of nurture and
First
tend
person
to it.
spellcasting.
So again, what that
You don't
really
see that
sets
very
up for
often.
the player is
The boys got to
this is a
play
big
that in
world.
EA's
It's got adventure and danger, and it's also got a lot of
Don't.
choices.
Avium or something.
Can you remember? It's Immortals of
Oh.
Avian.
Anyone remember that
one?
Nobody does.
We're in the industry, so we only remember the name.
Obsidian formula, that
100%.
player choice, and some of that moral intrigue too. Like, what decisions are you going to make in a moment by moment?
Yeah, and I think that's what players, as you said, like that's what players really want. Like they want to feel like they have some agency. They are going to be able to interpret the story that you all build and kind of act on that. And so, but let's get into the gameplay, because just like
Yes,
a little
let's.
bit
Yes,
after
thank
Developer
you.
Direct,
Finally,
we've got
more
some gameplay
Lord.
for us to watch. And so let's check some of this out. Tell us a bit about what we're seeing here.
So we're going to start out in Emerald Stair, which is one of the regions you'll get to explore over the
Okay.
course of the game. We're not too far along, but we have here a lovely nighttime scene.
I do
think
love,
this region
you know,
in
open
particular
worlds and
looks
discovering
fantastic
new
at night,
worlds.
Very
because-
stunning.
Yeah,
First
thank
person
you.
here.
And here we have some
Mushroom head?
sporlings.
It's a
and
mushroom head.
Yatsley, who is
No,
going to be one of
they're
the-
good guys. I love mushrooms.
Little guy.
Like
You need to
your bow and
harvest
arrow
them.
there,
You can join them.
and you're also kind of trying to slice your way through what looks like some very thick top.
So their
top heavy.
Yeah.
their solution to make the
And
weapons
you're
more
right, we are
impact is
struggling a
doing the
little bit.
multicolor glowing.
I guess
we'll
it,
figure
it
it
still
out.
looks
Well,
awkward. Look,
part of
every
the problem is
time
we've just
it looks like
transitioned
you're
out of
hitting,
a-
you're
out of an
punching
earlier
with a
region,
sword.
so
It
we
seems
haven't upgraded our
mobile-ish.
gear yet.
Like, yeah.
So if we look like we're struggling against these little
I think
mushroom
it's just the
guys, it's
color and the
because
art
we
design.
haven't upgraded our
Clearly,
weapons
it's
so
not
that they're really up to
mobile
par
for
with
me.
the
I'm
enemies we're
looking
gonna
at this
face
is not
here.
mobile.
So there's a
So
lot of
it-
hacking and
just the
whacking,
art
but
style
we'll
we're
fix
talking
that
about.
in short order.
Oh, fantastic.
Hey.
People, I was about to lose my wits.
Now
you
I'm
wouldn't
in
happen to have a ladder on hand, would you?
So this is still fairly
David
early
Bowie's
into the game.
Labyrinth.
setting.
Oh,
Nice. And then we have Yatsley.
don't OJ,
Yeah,
close your
she's
eyes.
a- she's
May
a wizard.
awaken
She's
something
very
inside of you.
Fun. She's she's
Yahtzee.
a little risque in a way that I
Yahtzee.
think
I'm
is
traumatized by that
makes a lot of
movie.
fun
She's
to talk to.
risque,
She's got
they
some
say.
Very good banters with the other
Show your
companions.
muscles.
Are you flirting with me?
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
no.
If you keep encouraging her, she's gonna climb you. Careful, darling Artie. I love her.
Here, by the way,
Good one.
also,
Skilled with his
one of the great
hands.
things about
Yeah, I like how they stopped
they
it.
start. They start with the horny stuff because they're like, okay, I
So
know
you notice
how we
now
get
that a couple
gamers
of
back
those
on
that
our
we had
side.
a little
Yeah.
symbol at the front of those
Furries.
options.
If you're trying to
So,
flatter
this
me.
is an Obsidian game.
It's
some of
working.
The
Oh,
options available
my.
to you are
She touched
dictated by
my
choices
muscles.
you make.
Here's what I
Character
wanna
creation,
know.
choices you make as you
You
level
pick
up your
the thing?
character.
Does he actually
So some
say
of them
that?
are
Because
tied
I'm
to
so
specific
annoyed by
attributes, some of them are
Dragon
tied to
Age where you
specific
pick the thing,
backgrounds
it
that you
doesn't
choose.
say
That's
it.
not what I said.
Those will really, in different cases,
Stop
either
my
add some
wrist.
different flavor of personality or possibly a different outcome to that conversation. Here we're really getting to know her as a character, and so we're just kind of choosing the tonal direction of this conversation.
Yeah,
She's
she-
a little, yeah.
She says you're tall, striking, and well toned.
It is like she's flirting with
It's
us.
true. You
What
should
would
touch
happen
my
if we passed the
muscles.
conversation
Well,
check
for
for
They
the
ripple.
flirtation option, which
2
I
out
assume
of 3
is
is
this
not
first one.
bad.
Yeah. Well, you'll
What?
have to see in a bit, but
like,
but
you wanna touch my
if
one
you flirt
pack?
with Yahtzee, she will flirt back.
She
as we're
seems
about
like
to
a
see.
flirtatious type.
If you keep encouraging her, she's going to climb you.
Careful, darling. I already have a lover. A good one. Skilled with his hands.
You a magician?
Why does she sound like an
Always
80-year-old
carries a
grandma?
ladder.
She
Yeah.
rebuked
That's,
me.
that put me off. Maybe it turned Joe on. Yeah.
Sounds like Mama Murphy from Fallout 4.
Yeah. But no, like visually
good.
speaking, like I think this is the first
Great
time
voice
Great voice acting, just
Yeah, so we do have a dynamic
Say
time
poor
of
voice
day,
acting.
and,
So enticing.
Yeah, our environments.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, have
Oops,
some very
shit.
lovely looks at different times of
I'm the
day.
one.
We've definitely shown a lot
Yep,
of daytime
man touched
footage.
nothing.
We've shown some golden hour footage. But again, Emerald Stair looks really stunning at night.
Yeah.
It's very colorful, very lush. We've got all the fungi, and then
The
one thing we're gonna see
fungi!
as we come over the hill
Fun
is
guys?
all
Have
of this
fungi.
equipment that the
There was
animancers
loot. I
of
like
the
seeing
town
loot out of the
made.
enemy's
And
dead
so
bodies.
Animancy in the world of Pillars of Eternity.
So maybe
is
you can
basically
create
soul
some
science.
wonderful
It's about
dishes with the
studying
fungi
and
that you kill.
manipulating the essence that makes
While
up souls
hoping
and the
the
essence
carrying
that is
capacity
ambient
is
in
pretty
the ether.
high
Quite
because I plan to
controversial in the
loot.
world.
Yes, it is, which is something we get into. in
Everything
this
not nailed
region.
down.
But yeah, so this is a little
It's
envelope
mine.
of,
I'll
I've-
take this.
animancers
It's
I've
who
never
are kind of
seen
free
such
to
hoarding.
study,
I thought I was a hoarder. Nope.
outside of the watchful eye of any
I'm like
larger
25%
authority.
There's
of what
always-
Joe collects.
There's always a market for something.
Joe finds things in games that don't even have the asset skin because they weren't developed. They're not supposed to be there.
No.
And so they are
What
also
is this,
impacted
shiny?
by certain-
One man's
by
junk is
dream
another
scourges
treasure.
as well.
They
But he doesn't even loot the
yes,
good stuff.
they
He's only
discovered
looting all of the
something
bad
along in
stuff.
the
He ends up with
ether
less
and
money than all of
coming
us in
here to
all
sort
of these
see what
games.
The animancers have figured out.
Yard
Right,
sale
and
stuff.
now I'm looking at this. It looks like we're heading into the party camp. Can you tell us a little
Party
bit
camp.
about what this area is and its significance for the player?
Yeah, so Party Camp is one of my favorite spaces
Like
in the
Baldur's
game.
Gate,
It's
maybe?
both your
Have a
narrative
companion?
hub and also your upgrade hub.
Upgrade,
We can see here, I'll just
Third
call
person,
out.
yeah.
Yes, we do have
Yeah.
third person.
Whoa.
A lot of the footage we're going to see today is
What?
in first person.
Hey, you
We
cut
do have a
away.
third person option for players who prefer it.
Oh, you're just showing.
But yeah, in Party Camp, that's where you'll get to know your companions better. You can kind of get to know their backstories and sort of, get to know them better as individuals.
I
You can also
like.
hear them getting to know one another through their banters at camp, which is always super fun to eavesdrop on. And it's also where we can upgrade
I like
our
seeing this.
gear.
Okay,
so we've
UI,
got our
here we
party
go.
stash where we can stow a lot of extra equipment.
Yeah.
We've got our upgrade screens.
Common, fine,
And here's where we're
exceptional,
taking
legendary.
Some of our older gear that we picked up in the previous region, and we're going to upgrade it so that we're better
They got
equipped to
corn
fight the
dogs?
enemies here.
Yeah, corn dogs.
That is corn
Yeah,
dog.
we're coming back.
Oh,
We're gonna be way better.
Fuck
But I
yeah,
wanna touch
corn
back on what you
dogs.
said around the banter around with your companions. I've always found that like in those kind of camp areas and in games just in general, like that's where I love.
Yeah.
And I love that you all are including banter between the other companions because that makes it feel more alive. Like you're just listening to the banter. But is there conflict between some of the companions?
Yeah, they have different takes on the Dream Scourge and like what you should do with it.
Can we
So what can we
maybe
expect to hear when
see
we
this
sing
instead of
Talk
chat
about it.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of different things. You know, one thing we really wanted to
your
create with Party
choices
Camp was this sense that, you know, you're adventuring
even,
and
make a
exploring
difference.
together through this big wilderness, all of these
What
different
kind of banter
landscapes,
are
and
they
Party
gonna
Camp is this
do?
quiet space where
Bad
you can
jokes.
all kind of huddle together, share a moment of respite, and, you know, the pace and the tone of everything is a lot slower and quieter. So some of the banter is going to be kind of quirky and fun as these characters get to know each other and kind of dig into their different personalities, their different eccentricities. Some of it's going to be a little more somber as they
Oh, she's a
you know, kinda
companion.
reflect on different events that y'all have seen, different things y'all have gone through together. And then yes,
Maybe more.
as you get to
No,
harder
she already has a
decisions in the
lover who's
game,
skilled
there
with
are
his
gonna be
hands.
moments of
Yeah,
conflict
you
where
beat 'em up.
they disagree on what the right course
But just
forward
because there's
is,
a
or
goalie
they
doesn't mean you can't
disagree
score,
on
OJ.
maybe
She has
actions
love,
that
I
you've
can be a
taken
fling,
to
it's
this
fine.
point.
Oh,
They're
okay.
kind of
Very
hashing it
handy
out with one
companionship.
another. So it's
Joe
really
just
good for
wants
these
to be a
characters
fling,
to
you know?
kind of like one.
So you're going to be judged the whole time.
Good.
No.
Because I'm a controversial king. We're going to be picking some controversial decisions, so I love to see that.
I love that kind of banter too because I know in my heart the decisions I
I
want to
will
make.
roll
but
with a copper
absolutely
fist.
The more connected I get to certain companions or characters, they can totally influence by their judgment,
that's
their
a good point.
full judgment. Yeah, so I'll sometimes start to actually take that into account. I love the party camp moments, sitting by a
Yeah,
campfire,
that's fun.
and certainly getting stronger.
Yeah.
Which,
That was like the best
my
part
understanding
in
is we're
Baldur's
picking
Gate,
up
the
some-
campfire, 'cause
not
Alex
just,
got to see
upgrading some of our
everything.
weapons, but also picking up
do
some
you
new
mean?
skills which you can.
Oh, because he wouldn't wear
do in this
pants.
Yeah.
So he was talking about. He's talking
Oh,
about his
every
wiener.
time we
Yeah, so
camped
you
down,
can
Joe's
upgrade your
dick
skills
was
and really
hanging out,
matter as you
and the
level up
camera
across the
would
game.
pan right
That's
across
one
his
of the
big
Hey,
cock
I
and
was-
balls.
I was
his
not the
small cock and
cameraman.
balls because he was a dwarf.
Which we just did, and on every level
So
up
what are we having, hot
milestone,
dogs?
we'll get to individual
But
abilities.
again, I was not the
So,
cameraman,
these
I'm just
places,
saying.
We've got a couple points sitting in reserve, so we're spending these on different abilities in our different trees. And one of the really fun things about the way these are set
Ability
up is you
trees,
can
cool,
really mix and
cool.
match freely between
Always
them.
good.
So
So you
want
got
more
any
magic.
for
all wizard, you
RPGs?
can build entirely throughout that skill tree. If you want to mix and match, make a battle mage, or make someone who can be a little stealthy in certain moments and a little more aggressive in others. You have a lot of freedom to do that. Yeah.
So we've seen a lot of Tanglefoot in previous trailers, and I think we just unlocked Fan of Flames, which will help us get through these brambles, right? So we're not only stronger, but now we can actually progress in the environment in Emerald Stair with a little
That's
bit
cool.
more skill.
You know
set.
what's interesting is the Xbox
Yeah,
Showcase
we
was
wanted to
very
try
good.
To, as much as possible,
But I'm
give
just
the
like,
different
why couldn't we have
abilities that
gotten this
players
in the
can
Xbox
pick up.
Showcase? It would have been even
you know,
better. It's
obviously,
like they jam them
solutions
over
in
here
combat,
in
but
the
also
post show.
solutions in
You
exploration.
go over
So,
there.
Yeah.
you know,
Why?
there's almost
I
always
think
more
it's
than one way through a
it
particular
would have changed a lot of
barrier.
people's
You'll
mind
have,
if you put it in the
weapons,
actual
your own
show.
abilities,
Well, they did this last
But no
year.
interview style, but
enchantments,
gameplay style.
sometimes
Well, they
even your
did that big
companions,
gameplay.
you
This is the
can,
second time they've done
use
a
their
gameplay
environmental
deep dive for
abilities to
Avowed,
help
and
you
it did
get
not
through
go over
barriers
very
like
well.
that.
People did
On
not.
that first one?
Yeah,
Character you
where
want.
they
so
it was 6
we've-
months
now that
ago
we're
or
coming out of the
something, where he
camp,
was really
we've,
excited that you could
upgraded
switch weapons. It's like,
our
holy
equipment.
shit!
Whoa.
If you're excited
So
that you can switch
theoretically, these
weapons,
guys
your
should be
game
easy
is
to have.
ass.
Yes, and you'll notice it's taking
Okay,
fewer
look,
hits.
it's
you bring it
they're
down,
not
yep.
glowing,
Get
so
outta
maybe
here.
that
Look at
was
him. He barely
a
stood a chance.
particular
Yes,
spell
we've got some nice
thing.
blood effects
firing
as we're
off.
slicing through them.
Yeah, so is that like new animation as well?
I feel
you
bad
see
about
this
killing these little
animation.
guys. They're so
Right?
cute, and you're invading their home, and they're just
we
trying
wanna
to
make sure the
protect their
players are getting
home.
Clear feedback
See, that's
as to
better.
when their gear is
Doesn't look
effective
as
and when maybe
punchy.
they need to
Yeah.
go back to camp.
It doesn't look like you're
Yeah.
hitting them
Yeah.
with the hilt.
feels, it
Actually looks like
sounds
there's
different
impact
when
at
you're
that
playing
point.
with appropriately leveled gear.
The king.
And this guy's a
Yeah.
little different looking. What's his
Yeah.
deal?
Spikes.
So this is a caster. So all of our enemy families will have different unit types among them, and we've seen a lot
know,
of
it's
these
almost
little
impossible
melee
to burn a
squads
mushroom.
just run at us, and it's
Watch me.
very
Is it?
cute.
Yeah.
Actually, it's one of our favorites.
You haven't seen my cooking skills, Alex.
But
You're
you
the
also have
worst.
these caster units
We can
that
do the
just
impossible.
attack from a distance, do quite a bit more damage.
Don't
And we
never
have 11 unit types,
underestimate
so we haven't
Joe.
met
My
yet,
eggs
but
disappear.
I'm gonna take this guy out 'cause he's a a little more.
Joe make one egg, he ends up no eggs.
It's like that big.
So
It's
when
like,
you
where
build
did
up
it
in a
go?
stun on an enemy,
It's not in the
kind of
pan.
queue
It
up
doesn't
an
get stuck to
attack
the
like
pan.
that,
That's
it
what you
does a lot
think.
of
Have you ever
extra
looked
damage
up at the
Yeah,
ceiling?
see.
If it doesn't
I think it
take them
just
out
evaporates.
outright,
They're
it'll at
selling
least
me
give you
watery
some
eggs.
distance from them. So those are great to get if you can.
Nice, and a little bit more traversal here, which I love to see. Adds that.
We don't see it too.
It's like, oh, this looks good. I was like, what looks
I love
good?
to
You
see
guys are
this.
really excited for this. Can't wait till you guys see
Exactly.
it.
Yeah, it's a very fun mechanic to be able
I'm
to
so
look at
excited for your
Yeah.
excitement.
I do not like the
Reward
format
your
that they're
previous
using
players
here.
I mean, to be
by
fair, that
hiding
they're
a lot
normally a
of, lot of
podcast, right? So like no
Yeah.
one's ever like watching them
Oh,
anyway.
Xbox
So
podcast.
levels.
And we did
Ooh,
just
burn.
pick up that godless vase, so
Yes.
we've got our item that Yatsley's been asking us for.
Yes.
So can you remind us too, as we're looks like we're approaching her now, actually.
wonder
So
how big the map
we're,
is.
what we're
Yeah.
kind of
What
do you think?
exchanging here.
Yeah, so Yahtzee is a scholar of the
Huh?
godless.
Yahtzee.
and
Andra's
godless are
titties.
those
Did she say
beings that
titties?
haven't
These-
inhabited
She's
the
They're
way
getting a
horny.
little-
Wow.
They have been
Getting a little
gone
risque.
for many,
I like
many,
it.
many years, but we see their ruins throughout the different regions of the Living Lands. So Yahtzee studies them. They are called the godless because they are not recognized as worshipping in their art any of the gods of Aora that people know of. So she wanted this artifact as part of her studies. So even without a ladder, we were able to fetch it for her.
Oh,
Yep,
your
and we
character
just
looks
saw a
terrible.
quick flash of
I am.
ourselves, actually.
I don't know who
and
the
we
hell
are,
made that
actually,
character,
we
but I'm gonna make a
explained
better
to you,
one.
we are
I'll make the
godlike.
worst one.
Yes.
Make
we
a
are
worse one
almost
than that.
godlike
Yeah,
in
know
a way.
about that.
So what does that mean in the world of like the universe in general, and why we look the way that we look here?
Sure. So in the world
didn't
of
manscape her
Eternity,
face.
a god is a
Yeah.
member of any kith species whose soul has been touched in some way by one of the gods.
You've been
Oh,
touched.
Oh god.
How did you know? It's like it's on your face.
Oh my God.
Will manifest in a number
Kinda
of
reminds me
different
of Pirates
ways,
of the
but one of them
Caribbean.
is you
Yeah.
usually have
Oh, yeah,
a
it does.
physical
Except for that looked
appearance
better.
that
Yeah, with the
manifests
coral. Davy
in some
Jones
way
crew.
with
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
sword or
Yeah.
head.
The
Now
coral.
with Avowed, you can choose
Coral.
exactly what the manifestation looks like. This lichen-like growth is one of your options, but you'll have some that are a lot bigger and more dramatic, and you'll also have some that are a lot
I
subtler.
don't want to be
But
covered
either
in.
way,
You don't have to be, I don't
connection
think.
to one of the gods. The thing that's unique
don't
about
wanna
you
be
is
touched
you
by the
don't
flower
know
god.
which one. And most godlikes of Aora, it's very well known, which god they share a lineage with. For
It was
you
dark
as
in the
a
room. I didn't
wizard,
know who touched me.
one of the things you'll get to explore in your journey of Avowed.
Yeah, and I love the customization because I think just generally speaking,
Show
people
us.
love the
Show us.
customized character.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
want.
yeah.
So
I like
maybe
that.
again, like you go a little bit more obvious here, or
In
maybe you
depth.
go a little subtle. Are we gonna see like players or not players, but like other people in the world like reacting to sort of your
No.
godlike appearance?
You will.
It'd be
because
funny
it
if
is-
she
it
didn't
is
know.
Oh,
very
God.
unique.
You
And
will.
There aren't many
Okay.
godlikes
Oh,
left in the world of Aora, so you're doubly unique in this case.
Oh, nice.
Walking the
I'm
street.
gonna be
Chicken
showing it off.
chaser. Wrong game, asshole.
Who
So
put
treat
this
me as
guy?
such.
Well, so some people think that's very cool. Some people think it's very spooky. So, different cultures and individuals have different ways of relating to godlike. So you might get you'll get a number of reactions.
And that's the thing is that godlikes are quite rare, so they
Yes.
are kind of intrigued by it when they
So
see
what
you
she
and
just
they
said.
recognize that you are
Stop
different.
parroting what she's saying.
Yeah. Now Yatsley is sending us somewhere else, right?
So we've gotten her vase. She's going to return to her studies. She will join our party at some point, but not
okay.
right away.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is a quest that takes place along the crit path in Emerald Stair. So you can tell we're still in the same overall region. So we're working with one of the animancers in the town of Fior, and he's going to help us He's going to try to help us diagnose what's
How's
going
that?
on with
You're
the living
killing
lands.
forest creatures
But
now?
in order to do that,
Damn!
he needs the heart of the
Oh shit! Look like a
and an
fucking
Audra god is
sci-fi.
essentially
Cool.
a nymph with, sort of the skin and
Nymph.
appearance of Audra.
Goddamn
And he
nymphos.
needs, the heart.
No,
for the essence
that's
it
a different thing,
Oh,
Joe.
So he sent us into this glade to go retrieve this heart.
Joe's over here
This
trying to have
glade is
sex with these
inhabited by
creatures.
Delagon, who, as
I heard you were
can see,
nymphos.
Are a lot more dangerous. and
No,
more
we're nymphs.
aggressive than
Please leave our village. Put your clothes back on.
Delagon in the World of Pillars are fairly territorial, so we're kind of bringing this on ourselves. He did warn us that they wouldn't take kindly to us
Drinking
just marching
potions.
through their
Look like
territory.
you're like
We
a
might have an easier
drunken-
time of it if we can
drunken
avoid
swordsman.
conflict, but conflict's also
Best
fun.
form of
so
combat.
in this case,
Super,
we're just, swinging
colorful.
our sword and going on in.
And you're right about them being a little bit harder to take down. We are definitely having to utilize everything in our arsenal here to take them
is he
down.
dead?
Yes,
What?
and you're
Yes,
seeing
don't
a
know.
few different
Miss.
unit types here. We've also got casters.
she said
These
Like,
have
why
some
would-
very long kind of whippy arms
That's
that
a
they
cool
can get
one.
us at a medium distance
And then
with
they
and a
remain
very
burning
effect
for a
attack.
while. So you
you
could see the visual spell indicators
Now we're
just through the
approaching
character
what I'm
model and
assuming
particle
is a very
effects.
special character. Can you tell us a little bit about?
Yeah, so this is the Delamgon Queen. She has the Odragon heart, and I'm sure she'll be.
I like how
super
you
cool
actually
with
drink
how
the
we just
potion
mowed
instead
through
of
her
it just
followers. What could go wrong?
firing
Do what we have
off.
to do,
and,
right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
hopefully she
Queen
doesn't.
of no one now.
That's right. We'll take everyone out, right? Oh, let's see what she says.
Uh-oh, but wait, no.
Yep, she can sense what we've done, and she's not happy about it.
So many of my kin are dead by your hand.
Hands.
The time
I can explain.
for words has
I thought they were nymphos.
They couldn't handle it.
Yep. Hello.
Boss fight.
Backup forces have arrived, and now we're in trouble. But we're gonna leave that a little mystery, right? I'm assuming.
Yes.
I don't want to give everything away.
Stop
So what are we
pretending
looking
like
at
you
here?
don't know.
This is
You
us
haven't
kind of
already seen it.
respecting kind of how our character plays, right?
Yes, so if you find that you want to try out a new suite of abilities, if you want to approach a particular piece of content like this one in a different way, you can respec. And you might have seen
Dark
popping up at
magic.
the beginning of the screen
Dark
here.
magic.
There is a cost to doing so, but if you're willing to pay it, you
Okay,
can
there's a
try
cost
out
to
a whole new
respec.
set of
Yeah,
abilities.
it's in copper.
So what we're doing now is we're speccing into a lot of ranger related abilities, and I think a couple wizard ones as well. So the most
Ranger
important one of
danger.
these is Shadowing Beyond, which is a level 5 ranger ability. And what that does is it gives us the ability to essentially kind of open up a rift in the here, which is the physical world. And
Okay,
travel
so they're
through
gonna do the same
beyond,
thing
which is kind
with.
of the
Holy
physical
shit, that's a
spiritual
cool
world,
effect.
in order to move through the
They
environment.
can't see you.
So what this means is that as long as we don't engage
Wow.
them,
We're
traveling through
these
hyperspace.
characters can't see us.
That's
And
awesome.
as long as we keep our essence meter up, this ability will remain active. So this one is constantly draining our essence, which is the soul energy that we use to power our special abilities and our spells.
Yeah, but how will I know it's about to run out?
You
I
can
don't
see
see
we're
an
passing some
indicator.
cover grass as well. So if we wanted to be a little more conservative with our power usage,
Maybe just
we could
UI
duck
list
into
for
that
the
grass, kind of
showcase.
watch the patrols, and
Or it'll
avoid
start
using this
flashing.
ability quite as much. But in this case, we're going to use it to get to this little safe nook right here.
So if you're an expert stealther, you could possibly do this section in stealth without that ability.
That's you.
If you're
with the
good,
grass.
just
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Joe.
Challenge
Aren't you
accepted,
really
right?
good?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
That's
we're
stealth,
re-upping
Joe.
Best.
on our potions.
Look, you
so
can't
we
even
can
see him.
build up
Health
that
and essence.
essence. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, we're going to continue, and we've also found a little side route here. So again, we like to offer different ways for players to approach our
Good.
content, especially big potential fights like the one kind of in the glade here. So this is a little side path that you can see still has some enemies in it, but for a player who's very careful and either willing to use that cover grass or willing and able to use Shadowing Beyond, they can get through without causing a ruckus.
So if you fight this sporling, will the others be alerted to it, or could you get away with like one kill? and
Getting
then-
away
It
with
depends
murder.
how close they are. So they do have a shout radius, but it is not infinite. So if there isn't anyone close by, and if you're pretty fast, you might be able to get away.
Yeah,
but
like
you can
that.
see
Oh,
there's
yeah.
one right
Yeah.
there. So
You never know who's hiding in a little nook.
Right?
Exactly.
I'll kick that one off the cliff. Probably. It's like, get out of here. But I'm excited to see
Very awkward
players
if
how
Joe's
they
not
tackle
wearing
it,
any
'cause I'm sure
clothes.
there's gonna be
They
people
becomes
who
visible
decide
again.
not to use the essence at all, and like really want to show their mastery.
I'm
of that
invisible when no
stealth
one's
aspect.
watching.
Can you pick up
So,
stuff while
here we
I'm? Oh
are.
Yes.
shit! Well, I don't know if it
It's
knocked
always
them
a
out of
trade-off,
the.
right?
It
You
is.
know, do you want to loot all the dead bodies, or
Right.
do you want to take the peaceful
point.
path and
Loot.
possibly open up some other dialogue?
Peaceful
options, which
path?
tends to
Fuck
be the
that.
No
play.
peas.
No peas.
A welcome visitor. It has been so long since one of your kind has walked in this grove.
In this case, the Delamgon Queen has recognized that we haven't killed all of her followers. And so there's a little more of an opportunity to talk with her. She recognizes that we are godlike. She might even recognize what kind of godlike we are. But yeah, in this case, she will give us the heart willingly, and she'll allow us to leave the glade peacefully.
Nice.
Because we chose.
Play
And
your
she's quite
way.
an
Great.
ancient being, so there's
Like
a lot
that.
that she knows.
Fantastic.
You mentioned that she might
So
even know.
add some replayability.
Might,
Go
yeah,
through
yeah.
things
Of course,
differently.
the thing
See how
is,
they react.
Delamgon are they're
That's
like
a
you
good
said, they're very
RPG,
ancient. They're not really
bullet
part of
point.
Kith society, so it's hard to get too many straight answers out of them sometimes.
Yeah,
but,
there was some
yeah.
vagaries in there, but enough
Yeah.
to kind of pique our interest.
But then she gave you the heart, and she said, "Take it and go in peace."
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
there you go.
We came in peace and we left in peace.
Boom.
Look at that.
I come in peace. Check out that movie.
Sometimes.
Well, I think that's all the gameplay that you and the team brought out here today. Thank you again so much. It's been so insightful and such a fun opportunity to walk through it all step by step with you.
Yeah, I mean, like we talked about it a little bit after the developer direct, but like the trailers that you all make are always so great, but then getting to like talk to you and see what the team has built and deliver especially for the Xbox podcast is always great to see and dive deeper into those details, dialogue options, how you tackle a game. Like all those things are so important for us to see, like how we're going to be playing the game
Yeah,
when it releases.
so much detail and intricacies. But is there anything else that you want to leave the audience off with before we sign off on this episode?
This game is
Well,
free
really
for
excited for
you
players to
now.
experience this game for
can play it.
themselves.
On Game
No, I
Pass.
think this
Yes.
it is on Game Pass, so kind of free, but monthly charge. But I think it's towards the end of the year. I think it's November.
We're all
I
really
think so,
stoked
yeah.
to see how players fill that player-shaped
stall
hole
looks
at
cool.
the middle of our
11,
game
11,
and
24.
What kind of role they choose for their envoy and how they
2024,
choose
there you
to
go.
solve the conundrums in the living lands.
Us too.
I know,
Oh wait, no,
cannot
this
wait.
is the
Jerry,
one that
thank you so much
put
for stopping
up the
by.
release
Please
date
give
and
the
they
team
pulled
our
it down,
best,
right?
Yes.
Right, right.
and
It was
excited
originally
for
the 12th.
game A little bit later
So
on.
the
And with that
leak
wraps up today's
is
Avowed
the
episode
12th,
of the
but they don't
official
know. They put it
Xbox
back down.
podcast.
Yeah.
But of course, we've got a lot of others, very special episodes
only
for
joked
you to
11
check out
because
later
that's
this
when
week.
Skyrim came out.
Okay, they really want people to watch the Xbox podcast because they'll have some somewhat deep dives. Didn't really like the interview format. I would rather just have the deep dive like BioWare did it for the Veilguard, Dragon Age Veilguard, where it's just gameplay. We're getting to see it and make our own judgments instead of the kind of pre-rehearsed asking questions that you already know answers to. But after seeing that, I think my hype goes a little bit more up.
I'm more excited for this game than Veilguard.
I was just about to say that. You took it from me. Yeah. Is that weird? Is that
No,
bad?
no,
that
I don't think so.
It
You have an
seems so
opinion,
because
Joe?
Dragon Age
You don't know.
Origins was one of my favorites, and it's like, and then I kind of didn't really like the direction some of it was going in. So I think this is more a traditional kind of open world RPG. Obsidian has done a good job in the past. They've also done kind of a weak job, average job in the past.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering where does this end up? But from the looks of it, it looks like I wouldn't like the world quite as much. It feels as I would like Skyrim or something, but. I'm willing to. It's something new. It's something interesting to check out, and who knows? I might by the end up liking it. But I do think that the Elder Scrolls is probably a bigger world.
Oh,
This kind of
sure.
reminds me of what was that one? That was it like Kurt Schilling or something, the baseball guy.
Oh, yeah.
What was his game? Remember with the armor? They would give you badass armors at the beginning. Come on. It was
He just got sued for that game. too.
what was that game? Anybody remember? Back me up. Y'all are gamers
look,
here.
no.
You know what I'm
Think-
talking about, right?
I think, yeah, I think I do think.
And
I just- I'm trying to think what that is.
they made one, and then it came back later.
Kingdoms of
Nope.
Amor. No.
No.
Wait, what?
The Kingdom of Amalur? No.
No.
Yeah, Amalur, maybe something. Whatever. It kind of reminds me of that, or like a Two Worlds to, the games that we've played. So I'm actually looking forward to it. I think it looks a little better than what we've seen, and they really should have put this in the Xbox Game Showcase, even though it was super packed. That would have helped out. So I'm looking forward to it. What do y'all think?
I still don't like the color palette. I think this modern game design, everything needs to be purple, Technicolor,
Yeah, that's the thing I didn't
TikTok
like.
filter.
Yeah.
It's not for me. I don't appreciate it. It does. I don't get. The reason I like Skyrim so much is it's got the look too of like a dark fantasy type thing. This is Technicolor fantasy, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think Obsidian is going to do a great job on the RPG elements. I do not think that they have nailed the way that things look as far as like the feel of Melee. It looked bad in the first video. Part of this video, it didn't look very good either. But that's not why I'm playing these games. Honestly, I'm playing because I want to use spells. I want to customize my character, and I think that those parts look good. I just don't think they know how to advertise this game, and or at least for me. So I'm gonna play it all the way through. But
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as well. It's too much neon. I'm hoping it was just this one section and it's like different locations, but I don't like this as well. Like shooting your arrow, there's like purple and all these crazy colors. But maybe I'll get used to it later. I do like it a lot more now that I'm seeing not the color
Particle effects, yeah.
particle effects. But I am liking you could do a whole bunch of different magic and I guess I don't know.
What do you think?
I'm trying to see what exactly it is that I don't like about this. Besides the cartoony. I don't like it when it's too cartoony. That's what I didn't like about
Okay, well that's
Veilguard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is like Obsidian's answer to Skyrim, obviously. But again, like Alex was saying, the melee combat, it looks a bit stiff. I don't know what it is. But again, especially when they're impacting the enemies, you see the different colours come up. Whether that's an ability or not, we'll have to find out. The style, I can see what they're going for. They're going for that cartoony sort of
Not a big fan.
fantasy
yeah.
look. But again, when you look at Dragon Age trying to do that now as well, they're all trying to sort of do the same thing.
Want it to be
I don't
the
think
same.
every game has to try to copy that
Yes,
Fortnite.
yes,
Exactly, the
exactly.
Fortnite.
That's what it feels
Exactly.
like.
Yes.
And I think the thing that's going to hopefully take this game off will be if it's got a compelling story. And again, the magic does look fun to use. We do like being wizards a lot. So yeah, the fact that they look cool as well. If it's got a good gameplay loop, good story, then it could
You forgive
be good.
all of the how sloppy and stiff everything
Yes.
else looks, because that
Yeah.
stuff truly does not matter to me in this type of game.
Exactly.
I think they'll do
Yeah,
a good job
Skyrim
on that.
actually,
Yeah.
melee combat, all those criticisms you levied against this game was this very same thing in Skyrim. The melee is like, should there be some evolution to that by now?
Yes.
I don't know if you can get it perfectly in the first-person view. It's always going to have a little bit of that, but I completely agree. I agree with Alex that it has too much of a Fortnite look to it. I may not be as invested in the world as I am in the Elder Scrolls, but it looks good enough to try out. Look at these interesting abilities, like approaching situations in different ways is all what RPGs are about. So I'm willing to give it a shot, and I actually think it has the potential of really being a sleeper hit. So it really depends on the story and how much content is there, how many unique enemies. But like Joe said, even though we're criticizing it a lot right now, I think, at least for me, I'm more excited about this than Dragon Age. What about you?
Yeah, but I mean that's like a
yeah.
Do you want to eat trash? Do you want to eat shit? It's like both of them don't.
Well,
What about you, Flippy? What do you think?
I'll say I'm more excited for this.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I mean, BioWare as well. We know is not BioWare anymore.
Well, yeah,
So-
they died 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Is Obsidian anymore? Probably not, but probably closer to themselves than BioWare at the very least. All right, guys. Well, that's our deep dive. I'll let you let us know what you think of Avowed. Did this little gameplay deep dive make you more
more
excited, less excited? Do you agree with the looks and the criticisms? Leave it in the comments down below, and we'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.